I turn around and shoot a jumper, and you hit my whole arm. The referee's right there. Don't call nothing. You take the ball, haul up court right. So you know me, I'm always arguing with the refs. I'm in a full argument with the ref, but I'm guarding you at the same time. And so you start telling me, you better pay attention, motherfucker. You better pay attention. So I'm arguing with the ref, trying to listen to you.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day so far, and welcome to an After Dark edition of the Kobe Chronicles. Happy 24th, everyone. If you guys didn't catch it, I reacted to 2009. It was February 2nd, 2009, where Kobe lit up Madison Square Garden for 61 points earlier today. That was a blast. So now I wanted to come at you guys with something completely different. And this is from 5 years ago, which is pretty close to, close to the timeline where he passed. He did a podcast with the All the Smoke podcast. So this is, what's his name? Matt Barnes and what the hell is his name? Steven Jackson. Sorry, guys, having a cloudy brain at the moment. But yeah, so this is Kobe Bryant on their podcast, and if I remember correctly, this is when the podcast was pretty early on. It was before these two really took off, and it's a 40-minute podcast. And I remember watching this back when it dropped, and I loved the conversations. Kobe's just brutally honest. Matt Barnes swapping stories with them because they did play together in LA. And I'm not going to do a long intro here because I just want to get into it and talk about the individual things that they do discuss. So yeah, let's just get into it. If you guys haven't seen this one, you guys are in for a treat. As I always do, I'm going to link the original video down below, which is All the Smoke. And the video itself is Kobe Bryant. So yeah, this is episode 11. So yes, this was very new of a podcast. So yeah, I'm linking it down below in the description for you guys. Happy 24th, everyone. Thank you for celebrating with me month after month. It's been great. And if you guys don't know, this is just every 24th of the month. It's just a day to appreciate one of the greats. And the 23rd, we do this for MJ as well. And without further ado, let's get into this. Leave this vid a like if you don't mind. And let's go.
All these years we've been building. When that opportunity do come my way.
Okay, I'm going to skip the promos. This is stuff from 5 years ago, so it doesn't apply. Trucking along. Okay. All right.
All right, man, so shit. Normally we shoot in Santa Monica or in New York, but today we made a special road trip to go see the one and only.
The one and only.
Yeah, I mean, we had to drive an hour and a half in traffic to see Cole.
It don't matter. We had to drive backwards. I was gonna get to his house and ask for these damn shoes one way or another.
That's the first thing you gonna do?
First, Cole, how you doing? Look, man, I've been looking for it's the shoes called the Undefeated Pack. We gotta be fresh on the court.
No, but I'm excited, you know what I mean? Like I said, he's someone that from the jump, him coming to LA when I was at UCLA, you got to play with the McDonald's game. We kind of saw the beginning and kind of just seen him continue to evolve and continue to be at one point, the greatest player in the game and then one of the all-time greats, So I think to have the chance to sit down and chop it up and reminisce and see what he's got going on post-career now, I think it's just going to be dope.
Not only do it somebody who probably my favorite player of my time,
right?
But somebody that I grew up with, like I said, able to play the McDonald's game with. But last time I saw him was when he was able to talk to my son.
Okay.
On his farewell tour, and I never got a chance to tell him thank you. So this will be a great time to to pick his brain, see what he got going on. You know what I mean? And rap with Bean, man.
I think everyone thinks that he and I are enemies or don't fuck with each other because that shit that happened in Orlando with the ball fake.
Oh,
but that's
yeah,
what
no way.
Really,
he ain't like that.
No, that's what really brought us together.
That's literally why he recruited him, was because he realized this guy's crazy,
Yeah,
like me.
That's what, he after that season, he hit me up like, yo, you want to be a Laker? I said, hell yeah. And he said, anyone crazy enough to fuck with me is crazy enough to play with me.
Exactly.
So I think that's like when people still Kobe doesn't like you. You guys, I'm just like, it's not even like, to be honest with you, what you're talking about is what really brought us closer and made us become friends, you know? So we had battles, but then, you know, as teammates, man, we had some crazy off the court fun shit we did.
You know what I remember, dog? This is the first time I ever seen Kobe out. I was in Milwaukee. We played job. Remember, I was suspended.
We came to the club.
You called me like, bro, I'm bringing Kobe. I'm like, man, Kobe ain't going out. He's like, bro, I'm telling you. Yeah. And I walked in the club, and Kobe was in there, and I couldn't believe it, bro. He's like, bro, I'm telling you now, he going out, bro. I'm telling you, coming out with me.
Cause I was in my room, you know, I was pregame, and I went in the room, burned one real quick, and then I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Let's do something. Yeah, and then he's all right, let's go. We went in all cities we went out. We went out to Milwaukee.
Yeah, when you called me, like, bro, I'm telling you, we going out. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Nah, we bonded instantly, man, like I said, on and off the court. You know, and we were both going through some stuff in our personal life. So it was just like on the court we balled, but then off the court we kicked it and we went out and did stuff. And, you know, rolling with him was a whole nother monster, man. We going to all these black tie events and you see that's kind of when I kind of owe it to Kobe, is, you know, kind of started seeing these Hollywood women, you know what I mean? And going to events with him. And once you open that door for me,
well, yeah, you ain't gotta open it no more. Yeah, I'm gonna walk myself in.
I'm gonna do my thing. So, you know, that's kind of like the 2000, when I was separated at the time, the 2010 time. Whew, that was the beginning of something beautiful.
California love.
Man, you already know.
A Laker?
Yeah, and with arguably one of the greatest Lakers.
Yep, of all time.
Yeah. The teammate on the road, just his focus it doesn't deter. He'll go out and have a good time. It's not like he's gonna go out all night and go crazy, but if it's a situation where he does go out, you know what I mean, the next morning he's up early and like the schedules, you know, hadn't changed. You know, he's someone that, you know, insisted on working.
They have a glass of wine every now and then, huh?
The vino. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he'll get out there and still do his early morning pre-practice workouts or pre-shoot-around workouts. Like, he was a beast, you know what I mean? Like, he enjoyed himself, but at the same time, he never let it take away from his craft.
Ultimate professional.
And that's what I think he held people to a standard. You know, you want to go out, you want to go have fun, go do that, but don't let that fuck up what we got going on the next day.
Yep, that's what literally every one of his teammates always says. Same thing, and Kobe confirms it too. I'll go out with you guys, but we're waking up at 6 a.m. to practice or train.
I don't know if he could have handled seeing what the kind of shit we did with the We Believe team, though. But like you said, we still came out and did our thing, though. Every night, but we was in the streets every night with that team.
If we was doing that and winning, he would have respected it, because that's all he was about.
Right. At the end of the day, it's about do your job.
But what you do off the court, as long as we winning.
Yep, exactly.
Let's go.
That's like what Jordan did with Dennis Rodman too. He's like, man, as long as you show up, I don't care what the hell you're doing after practice, you know, and just keep winning.
All the smoke.
I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, I think our goal is to have a candid conversation and get some shit out of him that he doesn't normally talk about.
This motherfucker, I'm actually enjoyed playing against and enjoy watching. So I'm actually a fan of this motherfucker.
And you can ask him about who deserved MVP in the McDonald's game.
Yes, I have to get that answer.
If he stamps you, you're good, because I don't know if I believe it because I didn't watch the game. So if he stamps you.
If Kobe stamps that I should have won MVP in the McDonald's 96 All-American game, somebody need to send me a trophy.
Y'all heard that? You better send that shit.
I'm excited though. This is gonna be one for the books. All the motherfuckers smoke.
Let's have a great show.
Let go.
Welcome back.
All right, here we
All the
go.
Smoke,
Here we
episode
go.
11, ringing in 2020. My guy.
11. I don't know how to say that in Spanish. Is it once?
I don't know.
How you say that in Spanish?
You played in Mexico, didn't you?
Once. I got it. I got it.
We got a special guest, man. Cole, we appreciate you, man.
What's up, man?
Thank you for your time. We've been looking forward to this, man. The fans have been asking, you need to get Kobe, you need to get Kobe. So we finally got Kobe, man.
All right.
We appreciate you, man.
You got it, man.
So let's get into it, man. What is the difference between Kobe Bryant post-career and the Mamba, the killer we saw on the court?
Well, yeah, I think it's just, a lot of the mentality is still the same. The industry just changes, right? So the same focus, same attention to detail. It's even more so now because, when you play, you got to take time off. You got to let your body heal. You got to do certain things. in business and in creativity, there is no
Wow, I totally forgot that he was part of the 2020 class at the Hall of Fame. Wow, what timing.
off switch.
Day by day.
Because your brain's constantly working, right? So, the similarities are there. It's the focus, attention to detail, and you try to surround yourself with people that are just as maniacal as you are about their craft. And then the differences are I don't have to put my body through hell every day.
Yeah, true. Some of the things I've seen post-career that I love are obviously, you coaching your daughter and then your new fascination with writing novels. Can you go into detail with those?
Yeah, well, coaching the kids is fun. It just kind of came out of nowhere because my daughter just decided she wanted to play about 2.5 years ago. And so started coaching her a little bit, and then she made a local all-star team. And that's where we met the rest of the girls that are now on the team. And, they all started at the real kind of ground level, but they enjoyed playing so much, it just kind of grew into what it is now. And it's been a lot of fun. And then the novel writing really started just with the kids. The kids can't keep reading stories that have no relation to them whatsoever. And I don't mean just from diversity, like a color standpoint, not only just that, but from the fact that they're athletes and there's no story that kind of speaks to athletes. It's all like, there's princesses and sleep and Prince wakes you up with the kiss.
Yeah.
And all that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to read my daughters that,
Right.
We enjoy that stuff, but it's not, it's not reality
Real life,
of it. You're not going to sleep and then wake up years later and be successful.
Right.
The
process
you got to
there.
work. You got to work. So I wanted to create stories that I could read to them for athletes that go through that type of stuff.
Right. Tell me what.
And this is going to get highlighted throughout the entire podcast, but that's one thing that really inspired me about Kobe post-basketball is he immediately started giving back to the next generation. You see, all he's talked about so far is kids. That's all his focus was post-professional basketball. And I love that, man. Once you're successful, you've accomplished your goals, give back to the next gen.
It's like coaching your daughter, because I coach my boys. We'll be at the same tournament coming up this weekend. What is it like for you being on that sideline?
It's fun because I get a chance to sit and watch and ask questions. That's really my job, and my coaching staff's job is to really ask questions, and let them figure things out throughout the course of the game. And you'll win some and you'll lose some that way. We'll probably win a lot more if we felt like we would micromanage how they play the game and call plays and sets and all sorts of stuff. But we really just kind of sit back and let them process things and figure things out because we are playing for the long game of them being the best basketball players they can be. But it's fun to sit there and watch them hoop.
Love it.
You didn't want an Oscar. We have a dream of winning an Emmy with our show. You didn't want an Oscar and the Emmy. What did that feel like to be able to say, to win an Oscar? Of course you wanted to be with 6 rings with Mike.
Yeah.
But you have something that he probably never get. You know what I mean?
One of these.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Can't get
he
one of
didn't
these.
get one of these.
Tell me about that.
By the way, real quick, just because yesterday I was reacting to a Jordan interview. Dude, Kobe's hands are much smaller than Jordan's. I never really got a good look at Kobe's hands like this, but definitely much smaller than Jordan's.
It's different because in competition, it's a direct competitive thing. You know who your competitors are. You know who you
We got that bad.
face. Like, you know that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a direct competition. When it comes to the arts, it's not that. You just try to create the best thing you possibly can and then see how, in this case, the Academy responds to it. So it's very different. Like sitting there at Oscar night, like there's nothing you can do. Like there's no need to be nervous. There's no need to, because things are what they are. It's out of your hands. You did the best job that you could possibly do. And then you go from there. But the biggest lesson learned from is you work with brilliant people that see the world the same way, and magical things happen. And that's true across industries. I mean, I got John Williams and Glenn Keane, who have never met.
I still can't believe you got John Williams, man. That's so cool to do the music.
But they are both giants in their respective industries, see their craft the same way, and you put them on a project together, and
What was it like for you coming into this business space overall with all your success you've had in sports? I kind of feel like that next step in life, people either kind of, they praise you for what you did and eager to work with you, or they're like, oh, this motherfucker thinks because he won 5 titles that he can do whatever he wants.
It's a little bit of both, right? So like I can get any meeting, but then it's the follow-up, right? Or I used to get things all the time where it's, yeah, come in for the meeting for this company that you want to build, these ideas that you want to build. That's all cool. And then you sit down and they're trying to pitch you on being on the show, being in front of the camera. I'm like, yeah, I'm not about that, right? So it kind of, it goes both ways. And so what we've had to do is just build it ourselves. Because we just got sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
You know, trying to go out and partner with people that, you know, act like they believe in the vision, but when the push comes to shove, they really don't. They just want me and my 20 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put that to bed and build something for the next 20 years. And the best way to do that is to do that ourselves.
Right. What was a pivotal moment growing up where you developed your desire and the tremendous work ethic I speak on and mental toughness that you have? What, was there early on, pick that up?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, we had a really competitive household with my cousins and, you know, my father and my uncle and stuff. Like, we was very competitive, and, you know, you had to really, really work to just survive. Like, you know, that's with swimming, that's playing basketball, that's playing video games, just whatever. I mean, it was a shit-talking family. Like, you know, when you lose, you not only lose, but you get embarrassed while you lose. You know what I mean? So I grew up in that kind of environment. So, you know, you had to work hard just to kind of keep your head above water, sort of thing. And I came into the NBA, I was like, man, these dudes really don't work that hard. You know, it was kind of an eye-opener. It was like,
But you started off young.
Yeah, it's something that I always relate to these guys with. You know, Jordan, especially growing up, but Kobe's story is very similar too. It's where it starts. It starts at home. And if your home is just like so cush and like there's no tension ever, there's no competitiveness, then yeah, it's not going to lead to a competitive individual. I had an older brother who busted my ass, kicked my ass, you name it, you know, and he whooped my ass in basketball while simultaneously teaching me basketball. And I'm very, very lucky to have that. And then I had a father who expected us to be just freaking perfect human beings and like soldiers at the same time. It was a crazy upbringing. So once I grew up, like whatever the world had to, you know, whatever I had to deal with in the world, it's like, all right, I'm ready for this. Not to say that it's not challenging. Life is tough, man. Life is much tougher than I thought. But as far as the attitude of, all right, I can get back up. I always felt that way, and I will always feel that way until I pass someday, that I can get back up and fight. And thankfully I had a loving mother who balanced that out, a very artistic, loving mother. And so I got both sides of it. You know, I got the nurture when I needed it, but the majority of it was just like toughening me up for this world.
Like, you know, we the same age. We grew up, but like you had a kill list at 13.
I did.
And I know we the same age. I'm glad I wasn't on it then. I'm glad I wasn't on your kill list then. We was the same age coming up.
That's like that Billy Madison shit, like, check.
Yeah. Who was on your kill list at 13, bruh?
Well, Tim Thomas.
Yeah, of course.
Tim Thomas
of course.
was.
Rip? Tim Thomas.
No, Rip wasn't, because Rip and I were like both nobodies.
Yeah.
So he went to Coatesville. I was in Lower Marion. So we were nobodies. So we played on the same AAU team together. And so we were really close. So he might have had a kill list too.
So the kill list was what, just people ranked higher than you?
Ranked higher. Because I like going into my sophomore year, I was probably ranked somewhere in like the top 200, something like that. And then it kind of went up, 150, and then by the time I was a senior, it hit number one. But J.O., Jermaine was up there, Lester Earl,
Corey Benjamin,
Holloway, Corey Benjamin,
Mike Bibby.
Who's Lester Earl? Mike Bibby. Yeah, dude, Mike Bibby coming out of Arizona was big time over here.
Mike Bibby, you know what? I mean, you
That
know,
was
it was
our
like
class.
our class was, you know, I tell you what, the first time I actually ever heard E40 was at a All-American camp.
Yeah.
We were all hanging out in dorms. And back then it was nothing but Biggie, Nas, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So they were playing E40 and shooting craps, and I'm like, man, what, y'all gotta show me. What is that? What's going on right now? You know, so it was fun getting to know everybody, and you know, and then seeing kind of where we've all gone since then.
Well, you guys played in the McDonald's game together, and Jack Hauser, you won MVP, right?
No,
won MVP.
I should have won MVP.
Oh, here it is.
So, see, I'm glad you said that, Cole. So,
Who won MVP?
Shaheen Holloway, he had like 10 turnovers too, bro. But you know what got an MVP? Remember the bounce pass to Lester Earl and he dunked on Voss?
Yeah.
I think that was the big play. But I led the game in scoring. I actually was 8 for 10 from the field, 3 for 3 from the three-point line. But our team, me, you, Rip, Jermaine O'Neal, and Shaheen Holloway.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Crazy starting five.
That's great. I thought you did win MVP.
No, I didn't.
So he loves the fact that you thought he should have.
But he said it. That's all I wanted to hear.
He wanted that.
All I
'cause we
wanted
were
to hear.
talking about this before. He's like, Shaheen Holloway won, but Kobe knows I should have won.
I did. Shaheen won it. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It was dope though. It was a great experience because our team though. You gotta let like me, you, Jermaine.
How many made a long career out of it?
All of us, like you know what I mean.
Rip has some videos. Remember, his pops used to travel around with the camcorder all the time.
Yes.
And so he was showing me some clips from some of his old footage and watching us knuckleheads walk around.
I posted a picture recently of me, you, Mike Bibby, and Rip at the McDonald's game.
Dude, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's when me and you first met.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's when we first met.
Yo,
This is so
It's getting better. We getting better now.
We talked about this a little bit off camera when we were talking about Stephen A. Smith and kind of how the roles are reversed now, and he's kind of almost in a player's perspective where he's getting criticized and everything. Was there anything as a player that you remember that was said about you or written about you that really kind of stung and hurt throughout your career?
You know what's funny? All of it does. You know, a lot of stuff said about me or selfishness type of stuff. It's like, bro, you can't win 5 rings being selfish. Right. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I get that's kind of become the mantra. It's kind of become the slang, the vernacular, or the running joke, or he doesn't pass and all this other crap. Man, that's okay, but I'll take those 5 rings.
5 of them.
Right? I'll take 5 of them.
5 of them.
I know me and Matt, and I know you too. Like, I've been misunderstood, and I honestly feel like I missed a couple All-Star appearances due to the brawl.
Sure.
And I've been misunderstood because you know me and he know me, and I'm not the person that they label me to be after being a loyal teammate.
Right.
What's the most misunderstood thing about you?
Well, I think it's that, man. I think it's the selfishness or, arrogant. Well, maybe not the arrogance.
No, the arrogance was real.
You have to be though. You have to be. You have to be. You have to be though.
I mean, when I'm playing, it's a different side of it. I think it's the perception of the way I am on the court is the way I am off the court. It's 2 completely different things, man. 2 completely different things. I mean, I can be an absolute teddy bear at home with my family, with my kids, and enjoying that family time. And I'm really psychotic about having that family time and making sure we're doing what we have to do as a family. I'm doing school drop-offs and pickups and, giving my babies a shower and doing all this stuff. Like, I'm making sure I'm there for them as much as possible. Right. And so, but on the basketball court, it's a completely different animal. And I think the biggest thing is, I see people saying, well, I don't like him.
You don't know.
And what?
Yeah, nothing you can do about that.
I mean, who are you?
Right.
Like that sort
But
of
the selfish thing, though, I think Kobe still gets it because first impressions mean a lot. And Kobe's first, I would say about 6 years, really rubbed me the wrong way. Rubbed my brother the wrong way, too. We hated Kobe in the beginning, not going to lie. But, and it took a while after he converted, the second Phil Jackson era in Kobe's career. Like, it took me a couple of years to go, the guy has changed. He's different now. But because those first impressions they stick with you so hard. So I think there's a lot of people who got that same first impression out of him. Like, he's selfish. He can't win like this. And then they kind of slept on the fact that he changed and they did win while he wasn't selfish, Like, it's not so much how you start, it's how you finish.
stuff, but it's all good. It comes with the territory.
Have you ever shot an air ball from the free throw line?
No.
So how do you feel that you should be, if you're a top 10 player in the league, you should ever shoot an air ball at the free throw line?
Oh, is that a jab at LeBron James? I think that's a jab at LeBron James.
I'm sure it happens.
But I haven't. I've never been top 10. I don't think if you're a top 10 player, you should never shoot an air ball free throw.
Are you referring to something in particular?
Yes.
No, all-stars period, because multiple all-stars have done it.
Yeah, I can only speak from personal experience, man. I've never shot an air ball from the free throw line.
And okay, you haven't? Okay.
No.
I mean, the only way that it's excusable is if it just completely slips off your finger because of sweat or something like that. But even that, that's hard to believe. But yeah, if the ball just went 4 feet in front of you and didn't even come close to the basket, it's that's forgivable. But someone coming up short 6 inches from the front of the rim, that's bad, man.
No. Not even with my left hand.
Not even my left hand, right? All right.
This year will be, when June rolls around, 20 years since you won your first title. What immediately comes to your mind?
20
Crazy, right?
years.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Now it's 25.
Long time.
Whoa. Oh man. Shit. Nah, I remember just us, being really excited that we got through Portland.
They were tough.
Yeah.
What?
Tough. We had Bonzi on set
Oh,
a
he
couple
was
weeks
a
ago, and he
nightmare.
was telling us about that series and
was
how back
talking
and
about
forth
He
it
was
was.
a nightmare. He was a nightmare matchup for me, man, because I was really scrawny and like 120 soaking wet, and he would just try to beat the shit out of me in the post. And him, Stacey Augman, they really helped me develop my post defensive presence because that was a weakness. I had to develop that quite a bit. But I remember just going into the Indiana series, we were just ready. We were confident. We knew how we wanted to execute. We knew what we needed to do, and we just tried to take them out their sets as much as possible, man. And then, Jalen slid his foot under mine and caused the series to go a little longer than it should have. But ultimately we got it done.
Ultimately, you got your revenge on Jalen. Like, he got sick revenge on Jalen 81 times.
Game rituals or superstitions that you
And
have?
before you dig into me, I know he didn't score all 81 on Jalen Rose, but that's the joke. 81 olives, yo.
Throughout your
Nah,
career?
I don't have none.
Just go out there and go to
Nah.
war.
Wait, what was that? Hold up.
Superstitions that you had throughout your
Nah,
career?
superstitions.
I don't have none.
Just go out there and go to
Nah,
war.
man, I go out and hoop, man. Like sometimes, like on game day, if I'm tired, I go to sleep. If I'm not, I won't.
And you
If I
never
feel like walking around, I'll walk around.
a pre-game nap wasn't essential for you?
Nah, like if I was tired, I'd go to sleep.
Right.
If I wasn't, I just wouldn't.
chill.
Sometimes I'd sleep like for 15 minutes on the training table before a game.
And that's all you need just to reload.
Yeah, because I'm already in shape. I don't need to sleep to be in shape to ready to go. Like I can run all day already. My stamina's already where it should be. So like whether or not I'm sleepy or not, like being sleepy and then being fatigued are two different things.
Yeah, for sure.
I can play the game and be sleepy and not be fatigued. It's fine.
Interesting.
Lowest moment, like I know we had a couple low moments in our career where, it's either things we control or it was our fault. What was a low moment in your career? I don't really see you having
There was
none.
a couple of them. Well, losing to the Celtics in 08 was tough.
Yeah.
But before that, like at the beginning of the journey, was not playing. So coming in as a rookie and saying, man, if I knew the shit was gonna be like this, I would have went to school,
Interesting.
right? Because I felt like my coach, Dale Harris at the time, was trying to make sure he did not show favoritism to the young kid. And as a result, he swung completely the opposite direction and doing things that weren't really fair. And not playing. So like my first 2-3 years were
Brutal.
a nightmare.
See, people don't know that. People don't know that. People don't know you went through that your first 3 years.
no.
Yeah, and I bet Jerry West wasn't happy about that too, because he pulled all kinds of strings to get Kobe Bryant there, because his whole vision was Kobe Shaq duo, and then because of Dell, we had to wait years until we really got to see that duo become something.
Tough. I sit around, I watch all my peers going out there playing 35, 37 minutes. AI, Ray Allen, they're all doing their thing. Sharif Abdul-Rahim, everybody's doing their thing. And I'm sitting here glued to the bench, getting really, really pissed off and ticked off, thinking I should have just gone to college. That was the hardest part. Yeah.
What was that breakthrough when it was okay and that your number was called? Did someone get hurt? You finally just started trusting you? What was it?
During the lockout season, when the season started, Rick Fox had plantar fasciitis in both feet. But he won.
So real quick, it was 50 games between. Okay, that's good, because I this has been coming up a lot with the idea, because Jordan would have come back if the Bulls didn't blow up the way they did. If Krause didn't do what he did, the Bulls would have had a 22-game break and only had to play a 50-game season when they were going to try to defend their title and go for a four-peat. Crazy. They could have done it.
When the season started, Rick Fox had plantar fasciitis in both feet. But he wanted to play somebody else in front of me, and that person got hurt. And so then he had no choice but to start me at small forward. And so this was when small forwards were
Big.
small forwards.
Yeah,
This was,
big.
this is KG, this is Sharif
right.
Abdul-Rahim, this is Pip, this is so I started the first 10 games at small forward. I think I started like 7 straight double doubles or something like that, and then I've been in the starting lineup ever since.
No looking back.
But I might have I mean, who the hell knows how long when I came off the bench before Rick didn't
Crazy.
get injured. So
It's crazy when you
rough.
see that,
It was
man.
really, really rough. It was really, really
And
rough.
especially too, like I said, I got a different side because I went to UCLA almost parallel when you came to LA. So I would see you on campus, I would see you working out in the gym, and I would know like, damn, this motherfucker's, why is he not playing? You know what I mean? I looked at it from a point of view like, I see this dude work out, like people don't play, like he looks like Michael Jordan out there. Like I would see he would come in after our UCLA practice. I remember one time you had broke your right hand and you came up to UCLA and did a whole workout left-handed like you were a left-handed player. And I was just like, what? Oh, fucking in the next
Wow. Okay, so that paid off later because do you guys recall him playing? I believe it was an entire NBA game left-handed because of an injury, and the guy's like shooting like baseline threes and crazy stuff, but they were kind of, he's doing good.
Came back shooting left-handed shots. People like, oh my God, he's this. I was like, no, he worked on that shit. His whole time he had this hand in the calf.
Crazy.
If you watch Kyrie get all that from
He
you.
was just mad.
But I'm not playing.
Right.
That's like you sitting down, you not playing, and you're watching everybody else kill the league when you know you should be doing that. It still pisses me off to this day because, like, ultimately, what numbers would you have put up?
Oh, right.
Because
Yeah.
everybody wants to go to that. Oh, let's go to career numbers. Go to career. I wish somebody would have told me that back
That's
then.
3,500,
Told me back
4,000
then.
more points.
You know what I'm saying? So, those 3 years of not playing and sitting on the bench and just watching, it's frustrating.
Tough. What?
And remember that anybody who likes to compare numbers, the story is different, the context is different. So, for instance, LeBron versus Kobe, numbers wise, yeah, someone named LeBron got a 3-year head start.
Growth did you go through from 3-peat with Shaq, he's gone, until you won your next title with Powell and the new crew?
I understand how to connect the team more. Right? I didn't have to with Shaq, because Shaq was the guy that connected everybody and still drove a hard bargain, but he was the jovial one and connected everybody. And so I figure out how to do that, but do that in my own way.
Right.
With my sarcasm and, dry humor or whatever the case may be, and being authentic with guys, but still being able to build that relationship and understanding this is what it's about. And as a result, we wound up having the closest team. I mean, that was the closest team I've ever played on, man. It was, but that was the biggest change.
What was Matt like as a teammate? I played with him in Golden State. It's my brother. We've been through a lot of stuff on and off the court. Our moms were best friend. I was with him during a tough time when he lost his mom. So our relationship is deeper than basketball, but what was he like as a teammate?
Yeah, exactly what I thought he was gonna be. Feisty, tough, competitive, and not afraid of big moments. And that's what I respected the most, guys that aren't afraid. You gotta have some cojones. You playing with me, you ain't got no cojones, man. I ain't messing with you.
Well, that kind of leads me to the next thing, because I think people think there's such a disconnect between y'all because of the shit in Orlando.
People really think that.
No, I wanted him because of what happened.
There it is.
That's what he told me. That's what he
There
said.
it is.
I remember he says, like, anyone crazy enough to fuck with me is crazy enough to play with me. You know what I mean? So it was funny, though, because that was just a back and forth game, and that kind of just spoke to both of our competitiveness.
Yeah.
The year before, you guys had beat Orlando, so we come back the next year thinking, okay, we're going to play the Lakers again. We're getting towards the end of the season. It's a back and forth game, and I tell people when I played you, like, I just look forward to it because, I mean, everyone knows how fucking good you are, but you mentally attack people too. You do your little Kobe shit where you're elbowing and grabbing, knocking the wind, elbowing me right here,
I don't know
knocking
what you're talking about,
everything out of me.
Everything.
I kind of duck tip, elbowing me. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm the one getting fouls. I'm the one getting teased. So it just came to a head. We're like, man, fuck, I might have to fight this dude. You know what I mean? Like, fuck basketball, fuck everything. So the play was crazy because I literally just faked the ball and it wasn't like thought of or anything, and I didn't realize how close it came to your face. Obviously you didn't move, but then when I saw after, like, that shit was I mean, like, your eyelashes touched that shit, and this motherfucker might have been the only person on the planet. Like, you flinched just off some regular shit. Like, I put a whole basketball in his face after we had really been going through it, and he just
I was telling this story about, we was in San Antonio. This
This is so good.
second time. I turned around to shoot a jumper and you hit my whole arm. The referee's right there. Don't call nothing. You take the ball, haul them court right. So you know me, I'm always arguing with the refs. I'm in a full argument with the ref, but I'm guarding you at the same time. And so you start telling me, you better pay attention, motherfucker. You better pay attention. So I'm arguing with the ref, trying to listen to you. You shoot the motherfucker from the logo, net. Give me a look, then the referee give me the same little look. I'm like, so look, this one made it worse. Then pop sub me right out. Of course I was like, oh shit. He go up for 69, I can't get my get back.
Hey man, I just try to fuck with y'all as much as possible. So I knew if y'all, y'all coaches, Pop, Gundy, man, you fucking coaches crazy, man. They're awesome, but they're crazy.
Yeah.
In a little, they like
different way, yeah.
Yeah. So I just tried to do what I could to take you guys out of the game. Even if it meant like your replacement, the person that was coming in for you guys did a better job guarding me.
Yeah.
Then I'd be comfortable with that.
Just to
Just to
let
screw
them
with
come in
you.
and guard me. Yeah, they do a much better job than these two guys.
First it was Bruce Bowen, then me, then somebody else. He just knocking us all off.
And then you wait, and then you roast them. And then you guys are over there like, what the fuck am I doing over here?
That's how
It's all mind game, man.
A lot of long nights. But my whole thing with you was, to me, good defense is never going to stop great offense. I just wanted to make you work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, with me, there was going to be hard fouls. There was going to be no easy layups. If you shot fake me too many times, I'm just going to foul you. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to foul you hard. You know what I mean? And that's what I explain to people. Like, great offense is always going to be great defense. You just want to make them work for everything. So if you scored 30 points, I wanted you to take 30 shots.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So that
we
was
went back and forth in threes when we was in Golden State,
that was fun.
in LA. I made the first, he looked at me like, are you serious? Can't get a shot all second half.
It's gonna be one of them nights. This motherfucker got hot.
Have you ever sat down and had like a real off-the-camera combo with MJ?
Oh yeah.
What is that like?
Looking in the mirror.
Here we go.
No, it's fun. I mean, it's fun. No, we're really different. It's crazy. Like he'll compete
To you.
with anything.
To you, y'all different.
I mean, I guess. I mean, like he'll compete with any and everything. I won't. I only compete with things that I really am good at. Like I'm not just gonna
Compete on something you don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
He'll compete
He'll
regardless.
compete at everything. He'll talk basketball all day long and nonstop and compare. Well, what would have happened if, my 91 against your 03? And like what's this that?
What would have happened in your opinion?
Come on, you can't ask him that.
come
man.
on.
I want to know, would it have been complete dominance? Would it have been a 7-game series? What would it have been?
What he started the conversation with was, I would have destroyed you.
Making it personal.
Listen, I just said, listen, just remember who you're talking to. Yeah. And he just started laughing. He was like, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. And then we just kind of moved on.
That's dope.
But it would have been fun.
That's just respect between two greats. I love it.
That's dope, man. Just to even know that y'all had that conversation is dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
How bad, I remember playing with you, your whole thing is that you said, I want to sit at the table with MJ.
Yeah.
Meaning you wanted that 6th ring. What did it mean not to be able to get that?
Oh, it pissed me off. But things are what they are. You gotta you push for a goal, and my original goal was to try to win 8.
8.
And you push for it, and you push for it, and you push for it, and you do the best you can. But then at the end of the day, you can be comfortable with the results and where they landed and where they ended up. And so, that's the most important thing. That's why I can be really, really comfortable with the career that I've had, because you worked as hard as you possibly could.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You and Shaq were able to win 3 together. Obviously, there's been back and forth of, what he was like, what you were like, whatever. But if you guys were on the same page, connected mentally, how many do you realistically feel like you could have won?
Yeah, San Antonio was tough. They were tough. And so, like, when the playoffs came around, it wasn't like Shaq and I weren't on the same page. When the playoffs came around, we always were on the same page. We just got beat.
Yeah, this is the era of the Eastern Conference, where the East was just terrible, and the real NBA Finals, in my mind, it was the Western Conference Finals, and more times than not, it was LA versus San Antonio. Sacramento got in there once or twice too, but that was it. It's like whoever's winning this is gonna just spank the East in the finals.
You know what I'm saying? So like we've the bigger question should be how many would we have won if the Spurs weren't the Spurs? Because we probably would have ran the
Tim
table
Duncan,
for a decade.
That year,
he was
killing. He was by himself that year.
He was lights out. He was lights out, right? And so the talent, the coaching, everything in San Antonio was kind of a perfect storm. And so if they weren't in the picture, we probably would have run 10 in a row. And they probably say the same thing about us.
Yes, for sure.
That's crazy.
You got a lot of young players that's reaching out to you now.
Yeah.
Your advice to them, like what you tell them, like how does that feel?
Depends what they ask. I mean, like a lot of them will come and ask about their game and things that they should do and things like that. And I say, listen, you know the answer to that. I don't know. Like, you know what makes you uncomfortable when you play. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for kids nowadays is that they want to rely on coaches too much and workout guys. You know, which is fine to have them help you work out, but you have to tell them what you need, right? You have to be able to say, okay, I feel uncomfortable with this. And if you don't know, then you're not as prepared as you should be, right? You need to know what your strengths and weaknesses are first. And then, you know, I can tell you some of the things, some of the rhythmic things, or some of the exercises, or how much repetition you need to be doing on certain things. But you got to know your game.
Where did
That's so cool, by the way. Like, I resonate with that as a musician, as a basketball player, like all that, like it really strikes hard because it's whatever you're uncomfortable with, that's what you suck at. Basically, that's what you need to work on. And I really remember that when it came to music, because anything that I would, you know, your brain stops for a second and goes, uh-oh. Even if you nail it, it's like, uh-oh. That means I got to work on this, you know, whatever technique it was. And then I remember in basketball, my wake up moment was in the 8th grade. So I was in middle school, and then Phoenix Sun, Frank Johnson whooped my ass 5-1, 1-on-1 in front of my school. And of course I was upset, but I went back and watched the film, and it was apparent to me what I was doing. I had no post up game. So I immediately started working on a post-up game because I was like, now I'm in a situation where there's someone bigger and stronger than me. What do I do to score on him? And me just driving to the basket every single time, it wasn't working. He was blocking me. He was putting a body on me. So I was really uncomfortable in the post, but then that became my best asset because I kept remembering Frank.
From though, because you see, I mean, obviously one of the greats, you know, is where you rank, but I really see, you know, with your academy out there in Thousand Oaks, like you open up your doors and your arms for players to come in, and where did that come from, that giving back wanted to come from, really?
Well, the guys that came before did the same thing for me. You know, I've had really in-depth conversations with Jay West and talking about things. Same thing with MJ. You know, I've had great mentors, Olajuwon. I've had guys, all-time greats, Bill Russell. I mean, we talked a lot about how to win championships, how to lead. And so I felt like it's my job to try to pass that information on to the next generation and then see the game develop and see it grow. You know what I mean? It's amazing to look back and see what some of these athletes are doing now, right? Whether it's the generation of James Harden, Luka Doncic now, and some of the players. Like, it's fun to sit back and watch the game grow, and that's why I do it.
Who are some of the younger players or players in the league right now that you do follow when you get a chance to watch?
You know what's funny? I wound up, so before Gigi got into basketball, I hardly watched it. But now that she's into basketball, we watch. It's on every night.
She wants to watch it too.
It's on every night. I love it. It's on every night, and I mean every game. I mean, she asked me to get the league pass on her phone and everything.
Oh,
like, she watches everything. So, you know, we'll watch. She likes watching Trae Young a lot. She watches Luka a lot. She watches James. She watches Russ. I mean, she watches Bryant. She watches.
Who you would watch? She watches
who I would watch, I guess. I mean, and there's so many young, talented players out there. It's amazing. And when I took her to the Laker game, that's the first Laker game I've been to, I think, since my jersey retirement.
Really?
And we just had so much fun because for the first time I was seeing the game through her eyes. It wasn't me sitting there, you know, as an athlete or a player or something like that, and then, you know, it's like about me, and I don't like that. It was her. Like, she was having such a good time, and the players were coming up and saying hi to her, and you know, and Brian was talking about her fadeaway and all. You know, it was exciting, and she had such a great time. And as a father, I mean,
that's all you want. That's all you can ask for.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Being a father with girls, I have girls. We both have girls.
Yeah.
When it's time for that first date, they gonna get that Mamba 81-point stand. You're gonna get the boy to stand like, look, bro, I put 81 on the court. Don't make me put 81 of these on you.
You know, I think it's implied.
Yeah.
I think it's implied. I think it's already there. You know, and I think Vanessa honestly drives a harder bargain than I do when it comes to that.
Really?
That stuff, yeah. So you got to get past that line of defense first. Yeah, moms don't, you know.
That's national security.
Yeah, once you get past that, now you got to deal with the real big dog, and that ain't going to be nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know so, but no, it's good. I mean, we just try to raise our girls to be strong, independent women, you know what I'm saying? Hold themselves to really high standards, self-respect, things of that nature. And you just trust that you've raised them the right way.
You and Vanessa have been going for 20 years.
Yeah.
Tell me what that mean with the height of your career and who you are. What's your guys' secret sauce, man? Nothing's perfect, but you guys have seemed to make it work.
Just commitment and competitiveness of we are going to succeed. You know, like we've seen couples that have been like 85 years old, you know, and you look and you're like, oh man, it's such an old, sweet couple, you know, and all sorts of stuff. And I'd go and I'd talk to them because I want to know. And one at the time, the guy goes, yeah, it's great, but I mean, she just kicked me out of the bed last night. I was sleeping on the couch last 2 nights. I'm like, it don't change, man. It don't change. They've been married, 70-something years, man. It doesn't change. So it's a constant up and down, the ebb and flows of relationships. But that's also the beauty of it, and having the persistence and the determination to work through things. Very, very tough things. And we've been able to do that.
Commitment, though. That commitment means everything.
That's all. Last thing before we get out of here, the state of the Lakers.
Yeah.
With AD and LeBron, I think they've turned the corner. Hats off to Rob and the front office who've kind of orchestrated this team. But what do you think of first them as a duo, but then the state of the Lakers?
Yeah, well, I think people gotta should really sing Rob's praises.
Absolutely.
Because they were like
killing him.
They were
I was the
killing
one
him.
that spoke. I was one of the people, like I said, when I spoke, because you know me, I'm straight from the cuff. Even though I know Rob and I've seen him at games and we've shook hands since, but I was just like, it looks like a disaster right now.
Yeah.
And they navigated through and put parts together that work.
But they seen the big picture when nobody else didn't.
But that's the point, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like being able to stay the course. And Rob and I have talked about that stuff. Like we don't talk about this move or that move. It's more so him as a friend is just saying, Rob, you've been there with me. Now it's just you going through it. And you know how we handle it is you just stay the course. All the storms going on and you just stay here. Just do your job, do your job, do your job, do your job. But man, I mean, what he's done with that team in 2 years,
Incredible.
from the contracts that they once had and were tied up to what they have on this roster now, I mean, they're the biggest team that I've probably ever seen. Their length,
Old school
speed,
big, too.
Old school big, tough, athleticism. So
that's how they won that championship too. They were a gigantic bully team. Like they were tough, and then they blew it up. It's always that part's always going to be weird to me.
Look, fantastic. I think the biggest thing for them and what they really need to invest in is health. Making sure their strength training is where it should be. Making sure physically they're always where they should be. They got Judy over there. Judy's
She's
amazing.
over there full time now. She's one of the best.
She's the best.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the biggest thing for them is just health. If they're healthy, it's gonna be a hell of a freeway series here.
Yeah, so that's you feel like it's going to be Lakers and Clippers coming out of the West?
It looks like it. It looks like it. I mean, that Clippers team is well put together too,
Tough,
man.
too.
They got dogs, man.
Yeah.
That ain't scared of nothing.
Well, before we close, on the show previously, I sent you a shout out.
The shoes.
So
That Barnes already knows. Like, oh man, come on, man.
Son's been trying to find this undefeated pack.
Okay.
You got to send me in the right direction, bro. We need them.
The right direction is right here.
down the hall.
Yeah. The right, we're here.
Depends what the size, what sizes they are.
You see, as soon as I walked in, the first thing I dust the ones off you got on. I'm a big time shoe fan of yours, bro. But the undefeated pack, I need them. We need them.
We may have some here.
This is
great,
Jack,
great news.
This is Jack's begging segment. He
my
always
begging
has
segment.
a segment where
my begging
he says, MJ, I need my boxes back. So you were next on the list, man. But we really appreciate your time, man.
My
Thank
pleasure,
you
bro. My
for
pleasure.
having it.
Bro,
Spend some time with
I
us.
can't believe you two guys are doing media.
Yeah,
Right?
And doing it good,
Doing
too.
it great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. That's it, man. That's a wrap. Episode 11. Man, we hope you guys enjoy it. We can't thank our guests enough. One of the
Bing.
greatest of all time, Kobe Bryant. Jack, we did it.
Did it again, baby.
Your hands aren't soaking wet. Congratulations,
today.
you did that. But man,
Moisturized.
make sure you check this out. Showtime Basketball YouTube channel and all platform streaming podcasts.
Onse.
Oh man. Wow. I had a smile on my face pretty much that whole time. What a cool conversation. Just cool to see old buddies just reminisce about all kinds of stuff and talk about what they're gonna do in the future. Kobe's got one thing right for sure. I still can't believe those two are in the media, but it's working. It's a whole new wave media kind of thing. Forget about them. I can't believe Gilbert Arenas is in the media. That's nuts. But yeah, first time I saw anything like this content-wise was a Knuckleheads podcast. And then it just seemed to open the floodgates for everyone to unfortunately have a podcast whenever they want. Hell, to be fair, like, I wish it wasn't modern players doing it, like active basketball players doing media. Like, at least wait till you're retired, or only do it when you're injured or something like that. I don't know. But no, I would just say no active players should do it. Because, look, we got this like podcast P situation here where he was doing more podcasts than playing games. And then he had to actually, which was such a bad look, he had to make a statement. I'm stopping the podcasts right now so I can focus on getting in playoff shape. And it was just like, what the hell are you talking about? And now he just got injured again, and he's going to miss the rest of the season. So I bet he's going to be podcasting all over again while getting his free NBA paycheck. It's just nuts. It's just gotten nuts. But all right, guys, let me know what you thought about this one. This is one of those I've been wanting to do for a little while now, and I'm glad I saved it for tonight. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll have a good conversation down below like we always do. I'd like to thank you all for celebrating with me. As always, I appreciate you all. Without you guys in the comments, shouting out, saying what's up, and shouting out your love for Kobe, this wouldn't be the same. I would just be a dude all alone celebrating by myself. So I do appreciate you all. Please leave the video a like, it helps push it out. And subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that bell if you want to get notified for the next one tomorrow. And yeah, we're going to start our trek to the end of the month. Wow, it's happening so fast. Every month is going by so fast. It's almost freaking me out, because if I wasn't doing this YouTube channel, I kind of feel like months would be like slipping by me. But like every time I do a 23rd and a 24th, my brain automatically goes to like, all right, let's do some fun stuff. Do some fun stuff for the end of the month. And next thing you know, we're back to the grind, beginning of a month all over again. So anyways, everyone, yeah, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I don't know what to say. Love each other, be good to each other. And this world needs more kindness. So it starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with all of us watching this right now. And let's lead by example. So anyways, everyone, thank you. I'll see you soon, and be water, my friends.